getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, what's happening? Happy Friday. Good afternoon and welcome. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 100.7 The Score mobile app, and on television, Fox 34 News Now, YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV. Lots of different ways you can take us in, however you're doing. So thanks for making us part of your Friday. Alongside Trent Hilliard, I'm Chois Woodman. We got Ben Borman across the way handling us today. You can also join the conversation. Thoughts, comments, questions, hopes, dreams, whatever you may have. Bring it all in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. Take the app anywhere with you. Even listen in if you're out in Calrec Bay in the British Virgin Islands. Ever been there?
The only place I have ever been out of the country is Juarez.
Oh, really?
That's it.
Just across the border, huh?
Just across the border.
Is this like a sanctioned trip or unsanctioned like we've heard from Chris Need before?
No, this would have been a jaunt just across the border when we were down there. Actually, I've been a few times, but the last was probably the Sun Bowl '93.
Okay.
John Hancock Sun Bowl against Oklahoma.
It's been a while.
So, but that's it. Have not been out of the country. Places I'd like to go, but plenty of places in the States I'd like to see I haven't as well.
I mean, you got a little more time in retirement now.
I do. So
is the wife going to be pushing you out the country at any point?
I hope not. I hope
she
would be escorting.
Maybe dragging you out of the country would probably be better.
Neither one of us have the desire to be world travelers.
I mean, Americans through and through.
Yeah. There's plenty of places here, and we're picky enough eaters that would be a big concern. Like, if we go to some of these places, man, eat the local cuisine. I don't know if that's going to be something we would let's be able to survive very long on.
Fair enough. Y'all bring in your thoughts, comments, questions, whatever you want to talk about today. We welcome it on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Dial us up on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973. We got a lot to still get into, some residual stuff from Big 12 Media Days, some stuff coming out from Big 12 Media Days for the first time. People stagger posts and those sorts of things. So we'll get into all sorts of things. Got some comments I want to hear from one of the coaches in the Big 12. I have a second favorite coach in the Big 12, and it's not Eric Morris yet. I love me some Eric Morris,
right?
But there's a second favorite coach. We'll reveal who that is.
Okay.
Coming up a little bit later in the program. We'll talk quarterbacks in the league. We'll talk predictions from coaches, but anonymous coaches. Would you be, if you had a tag of anonymity as a head coach, would you treat it differently? I mean, all honesty, would you treat it differently than you would if you weren't anonymous?
As far as if you're voting on?
This one's a vote on how they think the league will finish.
Right. Oh, yeah. I think because just bulletin board material.
Yeah.
You've got to be a little more careful if they're on your schedule.
Yep.
Putting somebody down at the bottom or something like that
don't
you would
deal with that. Yeah.
So if you had people that were close or whatever, then you'd probably put teams that were not on your schedule a little bit lower, and teams that were higher. It also makes you look, I guess, a little bit better if teams are ranked a little bit higher that are on your schedule, and you're we beat the preseason 2, 3, 4, 5, teams or whatever, as opposed to that. So there's a little bit of that gamesmanship that would go on. So I would say yes, it would be a little different with an anonymous vote than it would if you had to attach your name to it.
Sure. Are you tired from staying up all night last night playing the new college football video game? Was that? That wasn't.
It wasn't a thing. Wasn't a thing.
That was a different T. Hilliard on there, huh? Okay. No.
Did he win?
I'm just playing.
Exactly.
Did you? I did play the new video game yesterday. I haven't played any video games in a while, but I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get it anyway for the kids love playing the college football video game. That's really the one video game purchase I make in a whole year. We don't buy any other games.
Okay.
That's it. We have a few others left over, but that is it. The college football video game. And if they made a college basketball one, we'd probably do that. There. College baseball, we would do that, but that's the one. And it's cool. I don't spend all sorts of time on it like some people, but that's Texas Tech has a really good defense in the game. So
I'm about to say, did you immediately go and play as Tech?
Of course. That's where if I play the game, it's 90% on that. So
who'd you play against first?
I just jumped right into the season or whatever, dynasty mode.
Okay.
So I played the first team, which is they don't have ACU on the game. They have a generic FCS Southwest or Northwest or whatever that they play.
Right.
So it was whatever FCS team. And
okay.
That was it. It was more about seeing the team. Will Hammond ranking's not so good to start the game, but hopefully that rises throughout the season.
Yeah.
But you can tell us if you're playing the video game or whatever. We did get an announcement yesterday, Trent, of the Texas Tech Hall of Fame class.
Yeah.
After you stepped out yesterday, we got the Hall of Fame class. You got a favorite in this class?
Rayford Young.
I was wondering if it'd be Rayford or Joel Kalani or who it might be. No slights to track and field or soccer athletes or anything like that, but
you can't go wrong with the air raid alum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Joel Kalani's got a couple of really good memories there. He was a big part of that comeback against Minnesota in the Insight Bowl, and
Nebraska,
that touchdown against Nebraska with 12 seconds left on the clock in 2005. Yeah, because Cody Hodges threw it. So, yeah, that was a great memory.
Yeah, that one.
Because that was Nebraska's first homecoming loss in 60 years or something like that. So that was a blast. But Rayford Young, I think, is a lot of people's answer on this. His moment, the 41 points against Kansas. Everybody.
Oh yeah, I was there.
He only had what, 6 at halftime?
I can't.
It was something.
It was even just beyond not just the whole second half. You just go the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, he just went nuts,
and it was just unbelievable. So yeah, we were sitting in the Coliseum watching that one. They bring in bleachers, little riser metal, like you'd find at a baseball field or something, and they had those in there at that time, is what you said on. So we're standing up in the top corner where you could stand, not blocking anybody's view, and just watch the game and do all that. So, I mean, distinctly remember that whole series and where I was, and it was awesome.
Great memories there.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Friday. It's the Bottom Line. 100.7 The Score, the 100.7 Score mobile app. Chois Woodman Trent Hilliard, yours from the First United Bank studio. Keep your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Someone else responded. Belgium was garbage leading up to that quarterfinal. Lucky group in the round of 32. U.S. men's national team effort was straight garbage, no heart. Yeah, that was a disappointing thing. And I don't know. It's hard. We use the word effort sometimes in sports, and we don't know what the effort actually is, but what we see, sometimes just the energy is what you want more of. And I do think there's times in sports where a home team tries to not get too hyped too much, or you'll see a home team try to be like, okay, keep it cool, don't hype up too much, don't play to the crowd too much. and then you're too cool, and it's too late when another team has way more energy than you. I feel like I've seen that way too many times. So
and
finding that balance is tough.
I don't know about how soccer, energy, obviously, football, especially defensive-wise, boy, you want to be hyped and going and all that type of stuff. And somewhat in basketball that way. Baseball, no. It's got to be a little more even keel and focus. So I don't know how that plays into the soccer aspect of things. But I've never understood, how anybody could be not ready for a game. You get so few, unless you're Major League Baseball. But
that's more understandable. 162,
but you get so few. But even in Major League Baseball, it's like, you got to be ready because you don't get many plays.
Yep.
Like running out a ground ball. How in the world can you not run 90 feet? When you hit a ground ball as hard as you can and hope that maybe something happens because you're only going to do it 3 times, maybe in a game. So, and then you get plenty of time to rest in between. So I've never understood how you can approach a game and not be ready to play. Practices, you're going to have some down practices, but games, man, that's the fun and focus right there.
User H Cop says, how did you watch that game and not be sure if Oregon was the better team? Well, I'll tell you, they 100% were on that day, but I don't know that they were the better team for the season. I don't know that. And you know what? Don't take my word for it. Let's listen to someone that is far more brilliant than you or I, User H Cop, when it comes to the sport of football. Kalani Sitake, he goes for about a couple minutes here, so listen to what he has to say. But initially, he was asked about his relationship and his respect towards Texas Tech, even through all that's gone on this offseason.
Yeah, I love Texas Tech. First of all, Mike Leach was a friend of mine and a mentor to me, and so I love him. So I've always cheered for Texas Tech when he was coaching here. That was easy for me to do, and then all the coaches that have come through, I've had great connections to all of them. So Mike's son Cody, calls him Bubba, was a student assistant in GA for me before he went and joined his dad at Mississippi State. So there's that connection already. But I had with Joey, it's like Joey's my guy, man. We're really good friends, and he knows how to get to my heart, which is go buy a meal for me, take me to dinner, and buy me a steak. And I was like, yep, I love this guy. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm easy to love, but when you feed me, but I like how he runs his culture. I like the program, and being in Lubbock, that was such a cool experience. Granted, we lost to Texas Tech twice. That's hard to deal with, and we didn't play our best. But they have a lot to do with that. The defense causes a lot of havoc, and then they did some really cool things that in both those games that guaranteed them the win. In the championship game, I don't know how many teams. I thought they're the best team in the country. I think that big layoff did not help them out, and it's not just them. There's 7 of the 8 teams that didn't do well. That the bye became a disadvantage. Indiana's the only one that won. So maybe the system's not right, except for Indiana. And so everybody needs to figure out what they did differently and probably do that, or they need to change the system and not have so much time in between. At that moment when we played them, I don't know a lot of teams that could have beaten them, if I'm being honest.
So, User H Cup. I don't know. I'm not so. Some people call me cocky, but I'm not so cocky that I'm going to think I'm better than any of the 16 Big 12 coaches out there, or have more football knowledge, or how that works. I will defer to what Kalani Sitake says there, and what several other coaches, including Dan Lanning, who beat Texas Tech, has said about it. It's a terrible system. The layoff is stupid for the sport of football. So we don't actually get to know if Texas Tech this year was a better team than Oregon or not. You got that one sample size, and Oregon got a game where they got to warm up to it against James Madison.
Right.
So, anyway, the whole clip there from Kalani Sitake. He's my favorite other guy in the Big 12. I think if I was picking another coach right now, if Joey McGuire had to hang it up suddenly, I mean, I would love to have Kalani Sitake as the coach. I think they're very similar in their approach and the culture and those sorts of things.
Yeah, he seems that way. It seems like he's a perfect fit there at BYU. Was glad that they stepped up and kept him there, because he's one of those guys he's good for the conference. He's good for BYU, and seems like he's just a class guy. Of course, that's kind of BYU. BYU seems like their whole school is pretty classy with things, and for the most part doesn't try to blame outside things for their losses or anything. They just go about their business, try to be the best that they can, and let the chips fall where they may.
Y'all keep chiming in. Your thoughts, comments, questions. Welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. It's kind of funny. I mean, I was at Media Days for 2 days, but I didn't necessarily – I've seen a lot more in the last 2 days being home.
Yeah.
Or the last day and a half being home from Media Days that I didn't get to see there, because it's so scattered and it's everywhere, and guys are at different tables and booths, and so it was so I get to see something like that. I'm like, that's interesting, and see something from various coaches. I think I gained a lot more not respect, that's not the right word, but interest in Morgan Scalley at Utah. He's a kind of a spunky personality there. I learned he started his career in radio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was an intern.
Wow.
Or I don't even know if he was an intern. I think he worked for a radio station in Salt Lake.
Okay.
Before he got back into coaching. So he was an intern, I think, at a TV station in Salt Lake there. So that's
cool.
That's cool. So he's kind of been through all of that. There's a lot of different things you get to learn and know with these coaches throughout. But this question from T-Bone says, now that the NCAA is investigating Cincinnati, how long before we hear from them? 1 to 3 years, I'm guessing. I don't know. If the NCAA wants to drop the hammer on someone, it's usually quicker. If they're trying to run and hide, we won't hear anything again for a long time. And then we'll hear, nope, we never found anything 2 years down the road.
So one of the things I thought was interesting is that they said, they're looking at Cincinnati, but not anything about Indiana. Yeah, I don't know if that means they have more suspicions that Cincinnati was aware of things and knew about it, and with Indiana it's not at all. But the fact that they haven't said anything about Indiana, I thought was interesting, especially considering that's where the bet's on the own team. Yeah. And where you would want to investigate, make sure, did he know something? Was anything going on that he was aware of? That type of stuff. That's
what's so hard, Trent, with the lack of transparency in the NCAA, and why people think and believe that they're so corrupt, and that this is how things go. The problem with it is we don't know what conversations have been had with Indiana up to this point. Right. Maybe Indiana's given everything they've got and said, hey, we never knowingly played him, and proved they never knowingly played him. We don't know. So we don't know why Indiana's not being investigated. Heck, Cincinnati's probably only being investigated because Texas Tech pushed for it. Yeah. And said, hey, look at this. Look at all this. We really believe this happened. Yeah. So the NCAA does very little of their own legwork up front. Most of the time it takes the FBI telling them to investigate something.
That's true.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thrilled to be part of your Friday afternoons. Bottom Line, 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Powered by Happy State Bank. Chois and Trent joining you from the First United Bank studio. Someone says what Sitake said was key. On that day, no one else or few others would have beaten us. Yeah, I mean, I think the way you were playing football at that time of year, basically from the BYU game on to the BYU game,
Yeah.
the first BYU game through the conference championship, I don't know that there are many teams in the country that are beating you. I would have put Texas Tech up against most. I think entering the college football playoff, you had the third or fourth best odds to win it all. Over Oregon, by the way. So the problem, to me, a massive problem, because there's data to support it, is 7 out of 8 teams have lost that first round. I understand that the first year of it, the rankings were different, and the who's playing in those first round games were different. But 7 out of 8 speaks for itself. Ohio State was a big favorite to win their game. Who else got boat raced? Who am I forgetting? With Texas Tech.
Let's see. A&M lost the first round, didn't they? Because they were the home team that got beat by Miami in that first round.
Georgia.
It was losing.
Georgia lost their game. And they were, I think, the favorite to win the national championship.
About the Rose Bowl? Because wasn't it Bama that got steamrolled? But they weren't like the top 4.
Was that against Indiana? Yeah.
So it wasn't the top 4.
So Indiana's the only one that
won.
That was successful in 2 years in that. So I think it's just, and it's just stupid. Like, anybody with a pea-sized brain can figure out football's a sport. You're not supposed to sit out a month.
No.
You're not supposed to sit there for 28 days waiting to play the sport of football. A week off, like the NFL does, great. Gets everybody healthy. You can stay in rhythm there.
Right.
But you cannot simulate gameplay for 28 days. And that's for any sport. But football, would be pretty difficult. All right, so something that came out was pretty interesting to me, Trent. And I think it's very interesting because the whole anonymous thing we're talking about. On3 posted an article that came out from Big 12 Media Days where they asked every single Big 12 coach anonymously who they're picking as their Big 12 champion. So the Big 12 discontinued their preseason media poll 2 years ago, which next year I think I'm going to do a media poll. I think I'm going to reach out to someone at every media and at every school, and we'll just relaunch the media poll without the Big 12.
There you go.
Anyway, On3 asked each coach to predict what teams would play in the league's title game while granting anonymity for these coaches. So 6 different coaches, Trent, put BYU and Texas Tech in the title game. Rematch from last year. 6 out of 16.
Seems to be the general consensus with most people.
However, Texas Tech over BYU was the most voted on result. So a quarter of the coaches, 4 of them chose Texas Tech over BYU. However, BYU by far was picked to play in the championship more than any other team, more than Texas Tech. They were also picked 6 times to be the champ, while Texas Tech was only picked 4. Tech was picked to be in the championship 8 times total, 4 picked to win, 4 picked to lose. So BYU, 13 of the 16 coaches said they're going to be playing in the championship. 6 of the 16 chose BYU to win it. Very interesting. Again, this is anonymous.
Right.
So is this anger? What is it? Do they really believe Texas Tech can't repeat? Is it just the chip there? What? I'm curious. I don't know. Maybe we're very confident in Lubbock, but
right. You look at BYU's schedule. You could say that could have a little bit to do. They've got a pretty, I think, easy schedule. even more so than Tech. Texas gets that labeled, but I think BYU, because they have Notre Dame and then non-conference, people aren't saying they've got the easy schedule or whatever, but in reality, the teams that they play and the road games and all that matches up pretty good for them. And I guess that's, some of that's a diss on Will Hammond and our quarterback situation as much as anything. If people are saying, hey, you've got your second string quarterback or whatever, and they're not, some of these coaches aren't believing in him, would be the only thing I would lean to on that. But again, if Hammond was fully healthy, never tears his ACL, we never have to go get a top of the line quarterback. We're going to sign a guy to be a backup, not our starter. So I think they're hopefully underestimating what he's going to be able to do once he's fully healthy.
Yeah. So that's probably, I think you're right. I think that's probably the reality of why teams are cautious, because quarterback is the most important position, maybe in all of sports, but definitely in football, because it has the most effect. I don't know. The starting pitcher is pretty important too. Can't throw strikes. It's hard to do anything else.
Yeah, but not the same guy every time. It's only one every 5 days or whatever.
So yeah, I think it's probably the most important. So here's the votes. Texas Tech over BYU got 4 votes. BYU over Texas Tech got 2 votes. Those were the only ones that got multiple votes. Another coach chose Arizona over Utah. Okay. Possible.
Yeah.
Not likely. BYU over Houston. Also possible. BYU over TCU. Okay. BYU over Utah. Fine. BYU over, here's where it gets silly, West Virginia. I don't know if Rich Rod's voting that or who's throwing that one out.
You're going to ride them that far. Go ahead and give them the
do you have to stand on with that comment?
And then it goes Houston over BYU. Okay, so Houston got a vote. Houston over Texas Tech. So 2 Houston votes in there to win the conference. Utah over BYU and Utah over Texas Tech. And then there's one that is just, Jamie Pollard telling Jimmy Rogers to vote this way or something. He's Iowa State over BYU.
Wow.
I don't know if there's one coach out there trolling, which is possible. There's one that could just be like, I'm just going to pick whatever I want. There could be a coach. It could just be Jimmy Rogers being like, I believe in my team. We're going for it. But I don't know. I view Iowa State as the bottom of this league right now. Bottom 2 team in this league. I'd be surprised if they rise much beyond that. Y'all keep those thoughts coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line.
So do you think it's a shot at Tech because of all the stuff? You think they're just like, we're not going to put them up there because we're so angry at them, we hate them so much?
I think there's true hatred there.
Yeah.
True hatred towards Texas Tech. I think we've seen it. I think there's coaches that have spoken out. I watched, the person I watched probably the most of outside of a Texas Tech coach is Sonny Dykes. Sonny, there's some venom there. He does not like Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the spurned lover of not getting to be back here, of him not getting hired.
Right.
Tech had the opportunity to hire him. I believe he went at TCU the same year that Joey McGuire joined Texas Tech.
Right.
But Tech chose Joey McGuire over Sonny Dykes, and I don't know if he's just been jealous since then or angry since then. Every sort of little comment, every time he gets a chance to jab at Texas Tech, he does. I think there's real hatred there. I think there's coaches like Sitake and Eric Morris and a few others that, for the most part, just stay quiet on issues that are like Texas Tech or indifferent towards Texas Tech. But I think there are some out there. I think assistant coaches maybe as much as anything, hate Texas Tech because they're losing recruiting battles.
Right. Yeah.
Everywhere.
That makes sense.
And a lot of it is just jealousy because they don't have the money to keep up.
Yeah. I think it all comes down to the money. So, because you saw that the Sorsby thing, whatever. It all the comments were about the money at the Big 12 meetings.
Very much so.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy Friday, everyone. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Alongside Jamie Lent, I'm Chois Woodman. Ben Portman across the way. We get to pick games once again today on this Friday in almost mid-July. And Jamie, we get to pick the worst team. Not worst as in the worst record-wise, but the worst team as in the stupidest, dumbest, ugliest team in the Big 12, the TCU Horned Frogs. I'm not biased, though.
All right. Sounds like it.
There are times where I'll waver and fluctuate on who I dislike the most in the league and where it goes with sports, but TCU is right back at the top when it comes to football. It's partially what their coach says. It's partially what their stupid social media accounts post. And, I don't like them. So, we'll make that transparent. But Jamie does. He loves them, so...
Whoa.
That's all jokes.
I do wear purple now, but it's a different... Well, it's the same purple.
I was about to say, it's the same purple, but you look more like a Laker because there's some gold in there.
Yes. Crusader, not a frog.
Crusader. No R.
I think it has an R choice.
I know, but you don't say it that way. Have you not hung out at Mary Hardin Baylor that much? Crusader. That's how they say it.
I bet that's not the case.
I actually have one friend that went to Mary Hardin Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he would jokingly say it.
Okay. All right.
Shout out to Cody Henley. All right. So, one thing you guys didn't know, you knew we were picking TCU games. You didn't know 4 of these games are already picked for you.
It's good.
By yourself, Jamie, and by the producer chair on our previous picks. So, I'll tell you when we get to those, but we're starting with the North Carolina Tar Heels. This game is at Aviva Stadium.
Aer Lingus Football Classic.
Yeah, this one is week 0. And this one is the one... They have a nice shiny trophy. Did you see it at Media Days?
I did.
It's like crystal.
I did.
This one is the one in Dublin, Ireland. So, Jamie, TCU or year 2 under Bill Belichick, North Carolina. This is the very first college football game of the year.
There's no Thursday week 0 game this year?
There is not.
That stinks out loud.
This is it.
I'll take TCU.
North Carolina got better as the season went along, but I don't think they're strong enough for me to pick them. I'll also take TCU.
TCU ran UNC off the field last year. They're going to do it again, and a trip to Dublin, Ireland is going to be the scourge of Bill Belichick's existence. So, Horned Frogs.
Scourge. All right, next up, Grambling State in Fort Worth. They get a 2-week break between these games.
Froggies.
Froggies for Jamie. I'll take the Froggies.
Froggies.
Then Arkansas State up next, September 19th at Amon G. Carter Stadium.
TCU.
3-0 start, because I agree.
Froggies.
3-0 start. Game 4 of the season, Ben. I don't care if you don't like this because, well, someone else picked it for you. Jamie and I, at UCF, both chose a TCU win. I believe it was, I'll have to look. I think it was Evelina that picked it. I'm not sure. She picked a loss for TCU at UCF. So, overall, it's a win. 4-0 start for TCU. One of the more interesting games, I think, of the Big 12 regular season is up next. October 3rd at home, Fort Worth against BYU.
I saw a publication the other day that had this as, I think, the second best game in the Big 12 this year.
I don't know if I'm going that high, but I think it's a pretty easy top 10 game in the Big 12. I mean, at worst, TCU's 3-1 going into it. We have them 4-0. BYU, I think, will be 4-0. So should be a pretty big matchup there.
In case you're wondering, this is the Block T Hall of Fame weekend.
Block T?
Block T Hall of Fame weekend.
So that means they're going to use like a block T on their helmets and stuff?
Okay.
That's a guess. All right. Who you got, Jamie?
No, I think that's what Matt Mooney yelled when he got beat off the dribble.
Block T?
And he was looking for Tariq to get a block.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Well done, Jamie.
Thanks.
Who are you picking though?
I'm picking BYU.
I will also pick BYU.
Give me the Cougs.
Okay, straight loss across the board for us. 5.
Not the first time Ben said that.
Give me the Cougs. You out on the prowl, Ben? For never mind. At Baylor. Also a pretty interesting game here. Jamie?
I'm so confused about this Baylor team. I really am.
Why are you confused?
I just don't know what to expect out of DJ Lagway. I'm going to take TCU.
Dang it, I thought I was going to be the only one there. I'm going to take TCU as well. I think TCU will be licking their wounds coming off that BYU game too. It's not one, I think they've called this is it the Revivalry? They used to call it something Bluebonnet related, but Ben, who you got?
Like Jamie said, we have a lot of questions with DJ Lagway, and I think we all predicted also that this could be Dave Aranda's last ride there, so I'm taking the Froggies on this.
Okay. 4-2 start versus West Virginia.
Why did you just write an L down for both of us?
Because I'm backwards on this. I'm glad you saw that. I wrote it completely backwards. This is what happens. I'm glad you are there. I should have you check my work on everything.
I think you are confused.
So I said 4-2. It's actually 5-1. Versus West Virginia.
I'll take TCU.
Wait.
We should have already picked them.
You picked TCU? Dang it, I'm already...
Have we not picked West Virginia
No, I'm
already?
back on the Baylor one. You picked TCU to win that game.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I picked TCU too. I don't know why. I thought it was just math that now it's
TCU
counting.
2. Is that as bad as TCU 1?
Yes, it
I don't
is.
like either one of
The
them.
worst, actually. West Virginia, we all picked. You are correct. And we all picked TCU to win.
Yeah, at home.
So we're saying TCU gets bowl eligible by Game 7. 6-1. Versus Kansas.
I think I'm picking the Frogs again.
I will take the Frogs again.
Not looking good there, Clinton, Chuck. Jaybird's going down.
At Arizona.
I will take Arizona.
November 6th. This game's already... I don't know why, Jamie. Oh, it's a Friday game. I was about to say, it's already got a time and a place. It's a Friday night game. So, short week at Arizona, and you took the Wildcats.
Short week for Arizona, too.
But short week on the road isn't always as bad.
Yeah.
Or as good. I'll take Arizona to win this.
Arizona's at home. Time's in their favor. Give me the Wildcats.
Okay. So only the second loss of the conference season for what we've got down. At home against Kansas State.
Purple team.
Well done.
From Fort Worth.
Who is she?
Give me TCU.
Okay.
He was confused again.
I'll take Kansas State. I wrote it down correctly.
I'll take the Block T.
Ew. All right, so TCU. The other two, you guys don't have to pick, so makes it easy.
Utah.
Jamie picked TCU over Utah the first
At
time
home.
around.
I did?
Yeah, it's TCU in Fort Worth. You picked TCU over Utah because you said Utah had 3 straight losses on their schedule.
They're going to be reeling, Choice. I knew exactly what I meant.
Totally.
Yeah.
I picked TCU to lose this game. Ben picked... This was actually Joel that picked it. TCU to also lose this game. Would you have agreed?
TCU to lose, I can see that happening. Give me the Utes.
And at Texas Tech to finish the season.
I predict pain, suffering.
I think I'm with you. I really think the score, if you're running up the score in a game, this is the one. I think this is the one on Thanksgiving night. Unless Joey McGuire's like, man, I really didn't get enough turkey.
Yeah.
We'll take
It's also right before the conference championship game. You don't want to be using guys or getting somebody hurt.
Fair enough. So 30 points will be enough.
Turkey with frog legs on the side.
Gross.
Do it. We'll tell you what this added up to next and bring you a question of the day also on 100.7 Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Jamie Lent to my right, I'm Chois Woodman. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. I'll keep your comments coming in on the Yates Flowing Center chat line. Back to a few here shortly. Appreciate you chiming in. Even the people that say chocolate chip and snickerdoodle are the top cookies.
Both of those are good.
So we just picked our blind projections. Overall, we have the Horned Frogs finishing at 8-4 and 5-4 in league play. Jamie has them 9-3 and 6-3.
Such a frog homer.
Ben and the producer chair, 8-4 and 5-4. And I probably let my bias seep in a little bit. 7-5 and 4-5.
Seeping bias.
Yeah.
Horse name.
It works. It'll go right underneath Mike Judge.
Okay.
Wait, that's a guy's name. It wasn't Mike Judge. What did you just say? Milk Judge. It was like it. You said milk jug, and then
I said
Milk
Judge?
Judge on accident.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that.
It's like Mike Judge. That's the guy that created Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill. All right, let's just get to a question.
Why do you know that?
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
All right, Jamie. Some brilliant guy on the morning drive this morning had a question about Big 12 quarterbacks.
Probably really handsome too.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we're gonna piggyback off of that. You need a back there for it to make sense. Piggyback off of that, because On3 also posted their top 10 quarterbacks in the Big 12 list, which we'll bring you a little bit later. I want you to tell me who the top 3 quarterbacks are going into the season, who the top 3 quarterbacks are exiting the season. Because I think our rankings before the season a lot of times are based on what you've done so far, but I want you to project forward as well. So your top 3 quarterbacks in the Big 12 entering the season, your top 3 at the end of the 2026 season, and then we'll talk about Will Hammond a little bit after that if he's not in there.
Entering the season, as I said this morning, I have Fafita,
Okay.
I have Buckmeyer, and I have Wegman in that order.
Okay.
Okay. Exiting the season, I am going to go Fafita, Buckmeyer, and Mestamaker.
I thought you were going to go exactly the same.
Yeah.
You're close.
Mm-hmm.
Ben?
Entering the season, I got Dampier, Bachmeier, and Fafita.
Okay.
Actually, Swip, Fafita, and Bachmeier entering the season. Exiting, I got Fafita, Houston's quarterback,
Wegman.
Yeah.
and Fafita, Wegman, and Dampier.
Okay. So not a lot of change there. I mean, we put them in those spots on purpose. Entering the season for me, it is Noah Fafita. I go Devin Dampier, No, he's not second. Is he? Yeah, entering the season, I go Fafita, Mestmaker, Dampier. I do like Bachmeier, but I also think that I need to see a little bit more out of him. He was really good at driving the offense last year. But if we're going guys that are making plays to win games, he made some last year.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like he made a bunch.
He did.
He also had some key targets that left, so he's having to work with some new faces.
That's fair.
So I went Fafita, Messmaker, which is probably not fair for a guy, but man, he threw the ball all over the place last year. And then Dampier, because I think he just fits within their offense, and I saw a stat where he was like one of 3 quarterbacks in the country that returns with 34 touchdowns and 3,000 yards. Anyway,
I think he's so overrated.
I think
they'd be better off if he got hurt and they put Ficklin in.
I think against good defenses, he will not do as well.
Yeah.
But against mediocre defenses, he puts up massive numbers.
It's funny, both Fafita and Dampier are really short guys.
Yep. Very atypical. All right, so that was my going into the season list. My exiting the season list, I think it'll be Messmaker, Fafita, and Will Hammond. Because why not? No, I'll say Avery Johnson is third on the list, exiting the season. I was as big of a critic last year of Avery Johnson as anybody. I couldn't stand all of the love he got going into the season. But I think fit matters so much, and I think his fit with Colin Klein will elevate him quite a bit this year. Quite a bit.
Maybe.
So
I just don't think he's a good enough passer.
I also think he'll be better. Well, I don't think he has to be that great of a passer in that offense. I think if his running game sets up the pass, like they didn't do very much last year, is where it'll be more dangerous. So I don't. Where does Will Hammond sit now, and where do you project him at the end of the season?
You know, I know On3 doesn't have him in their top 10. I don't have too much beef with that.
There's a couple guys I would definitely put him ahead of on 3's list, but
yeah,
but not way ahead of it.
I think he probably finishes somewhere around 8th or so. I just don't think he's going to be asked to win a bunch of games for you.
So where is he right now on your list if you were doing a top?
9 to 11.
Okay. Ben?
I do believe he's top 10. I think he'll finish between the realm of 4 to 6.
I think he, right now, just looking at the other names, if you're just saying, would you take this guy or Will Hammond? I would put him, I think, 7th on the list currently. I think he will finish 5 to 7 this year.
Okay.
I think that's right in the range that he'll be. Cutter Boley at Arizona State, there's no way I'm putting him ahead of Will Hammond right now. He was solid, fine, but not anything that puts him ahead of Will Hammond last year.
I'll take him over Dampier.
Hammond?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think if we're just playing for 1 year, I don't think I'd take him over Wegman.
I'm probably not putting him ahead of Wegman.
Wouldn't take him over Bachmeier.
Like, sitting right now, Messmaker, Fafita, Bachmeier. I think Alonzo Barnett is one I would probably not take him over. I don't know that I'm Jaden Craig. I don't think I'm putting him ahead of Will Hammond. Lagway, you can toss it up between the two on what they've done. So there's a lot of fluidity in the middle of this league when it comes to quarterback play. Lots of guys you can say they belong here or there. I think there's an upper echelon of about 4 or 5 guys, and then
Yeah, I think maybe we're sleeping on Boley a little bit. I mean, he started 11 games in the SEC a season ago.
Sure he did.
Yeah, and was solid.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we judge quarterbacks on wins, fair or unfair, and they didn't.
We taken Will over Avery Johnson though, because you brought him up.
If we're going right now, but what their body of work. Yes, but I'm projecting Avery Johnson to be really good moving forward in this offense.
I'll take Will just because his hair is so much better.
Another thing about Avery Johnson, his time is limited. This is his only year left of eligibility.
Yeah. Boley last year, yeah, there's no way. No way you can tell me Boley's better than Will Hammond. 15-12 touchdown to interception ratio. Just not for me.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Glad to be part of your Friday afternoon. 100.7 The Score. Go! I ran out. That was Big 12.
Oh!
That was too much Big 12 Media Days this week. I could have gone a lot longer in the beginning of the week. It is that time. Spain scored, by the way. For Tell Me I'm Wrong. Jamie, take it away. If you'd like to. Did you forget?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to figure out how exactly I want to say this. And I'm also just finding out a stat that you would have blown my mind if you told me this.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Please blow my mind.
Did you know that Behren Morton scored a grand total of 0 touchdowns in 2025?
Rushing?
Yeah. That surprises me.
I did not know that, no.
That surprises me.
I knew they they pulled the reins back, obviously, a ton when it came to running football with him. Huh. I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah, that surprises me. As many times as you just see quarterback keepers, right?
But I guess if you're playing on a broken leg the entire year...
And also we were giving it to Jacob Rodriguez.
That helps too.
Yeah, and your point is also valid. Like, why take the risk? We've got other guys that are probably that are better at it. But it just feels like every once in a while...
It's still crazy to go a whole season without a quarterback score. Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm here to tell you today that as you look at the numbers for Behren Morton last year, I say that Will Hammond is going to throw for less yards. He's going to throw for less touchdowns. He is going to throw more interceptions. And at the end of the season, we're still going to be thrilled with Will Hammond as your quarterback.
So you're saying Morton will have thrown for less yards, less touchdowns?
No, Morton will have thrown for more yards, more touchdowns.
Okay.
And we're still...
So Hammond's numbers are lower on the throwing side.
Yep. But we're still going to be happy with him.
I think you're not wrong. Which is a nice way of...
I think potentially the situation with him being healthy of game one factors in. I just think that your run game is going to be such a major factor. I think he's going to run the ball more than Behren did. And so I think that's going to keep your passing numbers down.
Yes. I think everything you just outlined there. I think it will be running game, defense factors into that too, but running game, I mean, you've got a three-headed monster at running back. People are still talking about the freshman too. I don't know how much he'll factor in, but who knows? And Will Hammond's ability to run the football factors in as well. So, yeah, I don't think your passing numbers will be as high. I think they're still going to be comparable to last year, but maybe a couple 300-400 yards under what Behren threw for, and you're really going to lean on that run. I believe that to be the case. So I agree with you.
I do think Will Hammond will have more touchdown runs than Behren Morton had last year.
That's the case. If he doesn't, then
he had 5 last year.
Hammond had 5?
Yeah.
Goodness. I remember a couple. Ben?
So take me through the stats one more time that Morton...
So I'm saying that Will Hammond will have less passing yards, more touchdowns. I'm sorry. Less passing yards, less touchdowns, but more interceptions, but will still be very happy with him.
So to put the numbers in perspective, he was 219 for 332, 2780, 22 touchdowns. The longest was 73.
270, 2,780 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I think Hammond is going to throw more than 6 picks.
Throw more than 6 picks, have less yards and less touchdowns. I'd say you're right. Because like Chois said, they'll utilize the three-headed monster there like to the utmost maximum potential. Because you asked the question, like, who are the top 3 quarterbacks this morning? If you were to ask the top 3 running backs, I would have put Cam Dickey 1 on that list, followed by L.J. Martin and Jacoby Williams.
Okay, so if you were going to tell me I was wrong, Choice, which of the numbers would you say he will outdo?
It's passing yards. I think that's the one that goes up, because you think about Behren Morton's numbers last year. He didn't play in a lot of second halves of games. He missed an entire game with Arizona State. He missed an entire most of a game with Oklahoma State. So I think I'm counting on Will Hammond being more healthy, a little bit more healthy, and your scores maybe not being as separated the whole time as last year. I think you're still going to blow a lot of teams.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So there will be more passing opportunities. He'll play in second halves of games a little bit more than Behren did last year. So I think that one's the most likely to get eclipsed. I still think the touchdown number, the rushing touchdown, you'll really lean on running the football around the goal line a bunch, and so I think that's the one. What about you?
I think he could throw more than 22 touchdowns.
I think that's a possibility, and that
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with you though. I'm gonna go with the yardage.
I think you will score more touchdowns as an offense than you did last year.
Yeah, I think you're making sense about him playing deeper into games.
Yeah. Someone says Will Hammond will have more rushing touchdowns than Morton in the first half of his first game.
Yes.
There's a decent chance of that, yes.
I completely agree.
Steven says, with multiple good running backs, why risk hurting your quarterback? I think it's just part of Will Hammond's game to run the football.
Yeah, and you also you want to keep the defense honest, and one more. You want them, keeping a guy closer to the box to prevent Hammond from running, which helps you in the passing game, whatever. You just want to use that as one more thing that a team has to be ready for.
Just think about the Oregon game last year. If you just have that one more element a defense has to prepare for, maybe they can't sell out as much as they did on just dropping people back to pass. And if a quarterback... If you have to put one more guy to spy a quarterback in a defense, does that open things up?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Will Hammond would have done better against Oregon. I'm just saying offenses in 2026 that have a mobile quarterback are more dangerous in general. It's something you want your quarterback to be able to do. Even if you don't lean on it or rely on it, you want that to be an option for you. Especially against the better defenses.
So do you guys feel like with this offense this year, in terms of a passing standpoint, you feel like this offense could be predicated by the yak at some point? Like these receivers could get yards after the catch?
Hope so.
Because I think the way these receivers are as they were brought in, like their strengths and skill sets are primarily like getting into space, and once they get the ball, like they're off to the races. They hit the burners.
I think Coy Aiken is definitely a guy that's been a yards after catch guy in his career. I think Kenny Johnson appears to be that. I think Micah Hudson can be more of a possession guy, but he can be both if, again, he gets going this year. I think the one that's more of an over-the-top guy is Dante Lee. I think it looks like he's probably one that will be maybe your burner down the field. I think there's a variety, but, I asked Terrence Carter, somewhat joking, somewhat not, when we were sitting down with him 3 days ago, I said, can a tight end be the leading receiver in this offense? He said, it's going to happen. I like his confidence. Mm-hmm. He said, just watch, it's going to happen. He's a yards after catch type of guy, but he is also fast, very fast for the type of body. He's a confident dude. On ESPN, also, they were kind of, going back and forth with him and saying, what happens if they put a linebacker on you? Oh, what was his quote? It was one of my favorites.
I start salivating.
Oh, man. He said something like I know I'm misquoting here. It's like they're the burnt chicken or something like that. Something along those lines. It had to do with chicken.
They're going to wish they hadn't.
Yeah. So he's got some confidence, but he has reason to be. He's one of the best tight ends in the country. Mm-hmm. And he's got goals of being a first-round pick. Hopefully he can achieve those, because that means he would have had a pretty good season this year.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.